empower the company to come up with new work signs. So some companies have come up with different signs. Hey, do that 111 report, or can you do this report, the cash receivables or account receivables report, etc. During a meeting, what very often happens is, they're done via chat. If the person can lip read, then we advise video conferencing, and that's what's happening at Goldman Sachs actually. Yeah. And obviously, in the case, again, in a very good example of Navneet, actually, at Goldman Sachs. So he actually can speak. So he talks on the phone and gets a response via chat. So, things become faster that way. To ensure inclusion in the meetings, there is a buddy who's usually there along with that person, and the buddy rotates every time. So, Srini, I advise that for visually impaired also. And there are minutes of meeting done at the end of the meeting. A lot of times team leads will say, I don't have time for that. But what we tell them is it helps everybody. Nobody's really paying attention in your meeting. That's what we, ye sahi baat hai, So it helps everybody. At Goldman Sachs, in fact, they're doing live captioning. I don't think anybody else is doing it in the country, according to me. And obviously, we also tell them to use sign and talk. But the most important part is during transport. When they have to go in the night shift or whatever, they can only SMS our persons with hearing impairment. So they usually SMS the coordinator of transport department who might understand English. That person will call and speak in the local language to the driver saying, that person is standing there, please go and collect him, or whatever you have. So a composite workplace solution is required for each and every type of disability, whether it's skilled, unskilled, etc. Okay? So I will actually stop here and just conclude in one sentence. I would just say that if persons with disability are an asset, to our country, that is what we want to achieve. I think all of us sitting in the room want this, and it is possible. We just have to understand the root causes of what is missing, which is a lack of exposure, lack of expectations. Once we understand these root causes, it's only about creating an environment where the persons with disability will empower themselves. We don't need to do anything else, just provide that environment. And that empowerment at a workplace includes a workplace solution, which right now some of us are coming up with it, but in the future persons with disability are going to take matters into their own hand, as they have been doing even before, with or without any NGO's help. So the only thing we request is that whatever solutions we come up with should ensure efficiency and quality. That's how our persons with disability will be competitive in the workplace. Thank you so much. I'll take questions. I think we might have 2-3 minutes.
Hi Shanti, this is Nirmal here.
Yeah, hi Nirmal.
Actually, I have one student who is deaf as well as blind.
Oh.
Not totally deaf, but is stone blind. So, from his inside, he wants to become an IAS officer, and I know that that's not going to be a reality in near future. But he keeps on repeating that I want to be this and I want to be that, and goes to so many different government offices, to MPs, to MLAs, everybody begging for the job. And I'm also not sure where to put him. I have put him in computer training and this training, that training. I have got him each and every training, but still we can't find a job for him.
First and foremost, I think you need to that understanding reality part, right? That is what is required. Make him do a project work. Go and find out what skills and attitude are required for every job. The attitude part is more difficult, handling stress. And then if you can give him a couple of experiences, he will understand that. It will take time. But you need to first give that awareness. Because there's no lack of awareness, which all of us have faced. How many freshers are there out in the market who think, pehle hi hum ye kamaenge, or even without any skills? So it's the same thing. It's only more deep here because nobody's talking, or it's difficult for anybody to communicate unless you and communicate or whatever, that could be the problem.
And another thing is that for a deaf blind person, it is really very, very difficult for any trainer to train him.
It's not a joke.
I have got him trained at Delhi University, at some other places also. But what I find at the end of the training, that he is still untrained.
One of the things we've seen working the best is role models. Okay, there are enough role models out there with disability. And trust me, you'll follow that person like nobody's business. So I would suggest Zamir is available in Ahmedabad, Pradeep is available in Bombay, and now he's in Delhi, but he's in Ahmedabad. He's in Sense International, right? So please do contact them, even if they can communicate via whatever method. Obviously, it can only be through email or SMS or whatever. But just start that conversation. Let that be there, because Zamir has worked so hard at his skills, including. So then, they will immediately, that role model will first say, what are you talking about? Get a grip, and that will work even better.
No, he's gone to so many times to since at Ahmedabad, but still we are at the.
I think it's about giving some experiential. When we had to teach persons with hearing impairment what repetitive work mean, we didn't teach it. We told them to write a paragraph. They came back. We said write it again. They typed it again. They came back. We said type it again. 10 times after that, they understood what repetitive. They got really irritated. This is what repetitive work means. Again, do. End of story. That's the only way, I think we are out of time. If there are any questions, we can take it offline. Basically, what I put up in my slide here is that we do capacity building for life skills, employment and employability. We have content available. And so if anybody is interested, we could go out because the next session will be starting here. And we could always take more questions. And if you need any material, we can, give that also. Yeah. Can we have the tactiles also back? Yeah. Thanks so much.